In this video, I'll give you 6 tips that every new user of Microsoft Project needs to know. If you're a new user of Microsoft Project, I can guarantee you that this software is not intuitive. In fact, if you try to teach yourself how to use Microsoft Project, I'll bet you'll create some bad habits that will not lead you where you want to go. In this video, however, I'll give you 6 tips that will get you moving in the right direction and give you a chance at succeeding with Microsoft Project. So let's get started. My first tip for new users of Microsoft Project is to add your company holidays to the standard calendar. This is a really important step for you to take because you don't want Microsoft Project scheduling work on your company's holidays. So let's take a look now at a couple of videos that will teach you how to add company holidays to the standard calendar in your Microsoft Project schedules. To begin the process of creating company holidays on your standard calendar, first open any project. You can see that I've opened a new blank project. Then click the Project tab to display the project ribbon and click the Change Working Time button. In the calendar grid at the top of the dialog, select the first holiday that occurs on a specific day of the month. For me, that next holiday would be the U.S. Thanksgiving Day holiday. Then in the exceptions grid at the bottom, enter the name of that holiday, press the Tab key, then press the right arrow key to select the start date for that holiday. To make the holiday recur multiple times, click the Details button to display the Details dialog. In this dialog, select the yearly option and then select the definition for that particular holiday. In my case, Thanksgiving Day is always the 4th Thursday of November. At the bottom of the dialog, select the number of occurrences of the holiday that you would like. I recommend between 5 and 10. I'll go ahead and set 5. Click the OK button when finished, and there you have it. You've just created your first recurring holiday. So continue the process of creating holidays on your standard calendar that occur on a certain day of the month. So now you can see that I've created 3 holidays, each of which occur on a specific day of the month. To create a holiday that occurs on a specific date each year, select the next occurrence of that holiday in the calendar grid. For me, that would be December the 25th, which is Christmas Day. In the exceptions grid, enter the name of that holiday, then press the Tab key and the right arrow key to select the start date of the holiday. To make that holiday recur multiple times, click the Details button. In the Details dialog, select the yearly option and then select the definition for your holiday. In my case, Christmas Day occurs every year on December 25th. At the bottom of the dialog, enter the number of occurrences you'd like for the holiday. As always, I recommend 5 to 10 occurrences. I'll enter 5. Click the OK button when finished, and there you've created your first company holiday that occurs on a specific date each year. However, what do we do when the company holiday occurs on a weekend? This is where your company's HR policies come into play. Many companies state that if a holiday occurs on a Saturday, we observe the Friday before as the holiday. And if a holiday occurs on a Sunday, we observe the Monday following as the holiday. That's my company's policy. So I'll go ahead and select December 26th. Then in the exceptions grid, I'll enter the name of the holiday like this. Because this is an observance, I'll actually put the name of the holiday plus the year plus the word observed. And then I press the Enter key because each of these observances are only a single occurrence. So continue the process of creating your company holidays that occur on a specific date each year, and also create any observance exceptions as well. My second tip is to set the start date of your project and then to display the project summary task. Obviously, you've got to tell Microsoft Project when the project starts, and you definitely want to see the project summary task, which gives you summary information about the entire project in a single task row. So let's take a look now at a video that will teach you how to set the start date and how to display the project summary task in your Microsoft Project schedules. To set the start date for your project, click the Project tab to display the project ribbon. Then click the Project Information button to display the Project Information dialog for your project. In the dialog, click the Start Date Pick List button, and on the Calendar Date Picker, navigate to the month in which your project will start. On that month, select the date that will be the official start date of your project. Click the OK button when finished. Microsoft Project will automatically scroll the Gantt chart screen to the start date of your project. To display the project summary task, click the Gantt chart format tab to display that ribbon. At the far right end of the ribbon, select the checkbox called Project Summary Task. Microsoft Project will automatically display a task with ID number 0. If you've already saved your project file, the task name for row 0 or task 0, the project summary task, will be the same name as the file name. But if you want a different name, all you need to do is type that in the task name cell for the project summary task. For example, I'd like a little shorter name, just AI for LMS. So there's the second tip for using Microsoft Project effectively. My third tip is do not use manually scheduled tasks in your projects. Manually scheduled tasks are way too rigid and way too inflexible, and they will not give you the results you want. So let's take a look at a video now so that you can see with your own eyes why you should not use manually scheduled tasks in your Microsoft Project schedules. In this sample project, you can clearly see that every task is set to manually scheduled, as indicated by the turquoise-colored push pin indicators in the task mode column, and by the turquoise-colored Gantt bars in the Gantt chart screen. Let me show you quite simply why you don't want to use manually scheduled tasks in your projects. If I were to change the duration of the design task from 3 days to 5 days and press the Enter key, oh no, Microsoft Project did not reschedule all of the successor tasks as we would expect. That, in a nutshell, is why you don't want to use manually scheduled tasks. But let me show you what you should use instead. So I'm going to select all of these tasks and I'll change them to auto-scheduled, which is what I recommend you use. Now if I change the duration of the design task from 3 days to 5 days, look what just happened. Every successor task was automatically rescheduled. That is the behavior you want in Microsoft Project. So that's tip number 3 for using Microsoft Project effectively. My 4th tip is to perform deliverable-based task planning in your project. In fact, to me, deliverable-based task planning is the only kind of planning I would ever want to do. You need to plan for the deliverables in your project, which are those items that need to be created and then handed off for acceptance and approval. So let's go ahead and take a look now at a couple of videos that will teach you how to perform deliverable-based task planning in your Microsoft Project schedules. During the initial task planning process, you may discover that you forgot a task and it needs to be inserted in between two existing tasks. The easiest way to insert a new task is to do this. Select the task row where you'd like to insert the new task, and then on your computer keyboard, press the Insert key. You see, the Insert key is the keyboard shortcut for inserting a new task row. In that blank row, enter the name of the new task, and then press the Enter key. During the initial task planning process, you might also discover you need to delete a task that will not actually be needed in the project after all. For example, my fellow project managers have let me know that task number 1 is no longer needed in this project because the product requirements are already known. The easiest way to delete a task is to right-click anywhere in the task row, and on the shortcut menu, choose the item Delete Task, and it's gone. Finally, during the task planning process, you may discover that you've put tasks in the wrong order, and you need to move them around into the correct order. Let me show you how to move a task using the drag and drop functionality in Microsoft Project. For example, task number 6 is in the wrong place in the task list. I need to move it between tasks number 4 and 5. Here's how to move a task using drag and drop. Click the row ID number of the task to highlight the entire task row. Release your mouse button, and then click and hold your mouse button again to grab the entire task row. Move the task up or down on the screen until the big gray insertion point appears exactly where you want to drop the task. To drop it, release the mouse button. That's how to use tricks in the initial task planning process. In this project, you can see that I've created the initial task list and that I'm ready to begin creating summary tasks. However, please notice that these tasks will belong to the Product 1 summary section. These tasks will belong to the Product 2 summary section, and the last 3 tasks will belong to the Product 1 and 2 integration summary section. In Microsoft Project, there's actually 2 different ways to create summary tasks. Using the first method, select the task row where you want to insert a new summary task, and then on your computer keyboard, press the Insert key. That is the keyboard shortcut for creating a new blank row. Then type the name of the summary into the blank row. Followed by that, select the tasks that you want to become subtasks of the new summary section. Then in the Schedule section of your task ribbon, click the Indent Task button. Notice that Microsoft Project automatically converted Product 1 into a summary task, and it automatically indented the selected tasks to make them subtasks of the new summary section. The second method for creating a new summary task is very cool. I really like this feature. To use it, what you need to do is to pre-select the tasks that you want to become subtasks of the new summary section. And then over in the Insert section of the task ribbon, click the Insert Summary Task button. It inserted a new dummy named summary task, and it automatically indented the selected tasks to make them subtasks of the new summary section. So all I need to do is to give this summary section a name. Let me go ahead and do the same thing for the last three tasks because I think this feature is just way too cool, and I'll go ahead and give it the name Products 1 and 2 Integration. So ladies and gentlemen, that's how to create summary tasks using two different methods in Microsoft Project. In this project, I've created summary sections, and now I'm ready to insert milestones in the project. In Microsoft Project, there's two ways to create a milestone task. Using the first method, click the task row where you would like to insert the new milestone. Then on your computer keyboard, press the Insert key. Remember, the Insert key is the keyboard shortcut for inserting a new blank task row. Then type the name of your milestone using verbiage like this: Product 1 complete, and then right arrow over to the duration column. In the duration column, enter 0 days as the duration for the new task. Microsoft Project will automatically convert that task into a milestone. The second method for creating a milestone task is to select the row where you'd like to insert the milestone, but then in the Insert section of the task ribbon, click the Insert Milestone button. Notice that Microsoft Project inserts a new dummy name task, but automatically sets its duration to 0 days. All you need to do is to enter the name of the milestone. So I'll go ahead and use that feature for the last section as well. I really like this feature. And then as a best practice, I always recommend that you add a final milestone at the end of your project named something like Project Complete, because that will signify the final finish date of your project. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how to create milestones in a Microsoft Project schedule. My fifth tip is to set the correct task dependencies for each task in your project schedule. This step is really important because when you set task dependencies, you are telling Microsoft Project the order or sequence in which the tasks will occur. So let's go ahead and take a look now at a video that will teach you how to set task dependencies in your Microsoft Project schedules. During the dependency planning process, Microsoft Project offers you 4 basic dependency types. They include Finish to Start, abbreviated FS, Start to Start, abbreviated SS, Finish to Finish, abbreviated FF, and Start to Finish, abbreviated SF. In addition, during the dependency planning process, Microsoft Project also allows you to add either lag time or lead time as needed to any task dependency relationship. In this video, I'll show you how to specify all of these, and I'll teach you two different methods to do this. So first, let's go ahead and expand all of the subtasks. The first dependency type is finish to start. To set this dependency using the first method, select the tasks you want to link, then in the middle of your little Quick Access toolbar, click the Link the Selected Tasks button. Now, by the way, if you haven't customized your toolbar the way mine is customized, be sure and click the link in the comment section down below to watch the video how to customize the Quick Access toolbar. Now, if you don't have a customized Quick Access toolbar, you can go to the task ribbon and then you can click the Link the Selected Tasks button in the Schedule section of the task ribbon. When you link tasks using Finish to Start, you'll notice the unusual code that Microsoft Project generates in the predecessors and successors column. That code actually represents the second way to set task dependencies. So let's go ahead and take out the dependencies I just set, and instead what I'll do is I'll type the code in the predecessors column. So I'll type 2, 3, 4, and look at that. Microsoft Project automatically links those tasks with a finish to start dependency relationship. By the way, the numbers represent the ID numbers for the predecessors. The second dependency type is called start to start, and this is what you use whenever you need two tasks to start at the same time. So we have two tasks here, install Windows, install plumbing. They both need to start at the same time. Here's the first way to do that. First, I'll click the Link the Selected Tasks button. Then what I'll do is I'll double-click the arrowhead between the two tasks on the link line. Now, the truth is I can double-click anywhere on the link line, but the arrowhead is actually the biggest, thickest part of it. So when I double-click the arrowhead, Microsoft Project will display the task dependency dialog. In this dialog, I'll click the Type Pick List, choose Start to Start, click the OK button. Now look at the code in the predecessors and successors columns, 7SS, 8SS. All right, so that's the first way to do start to start. Now let me back it out. And this time I'll go ahead and type the code, 7SS. And look, it sets the dependency. So you always have two different options for setting task dependencies. Our next dependency type is finish to finish. For this dependency type, we have two tasks, order event supplies, order catering. They both need to finish at the same time. This is the dependency you use when you have two tasks that need to finish at the same time. So once again, using the first method, I'll click the Link the Selected Tasks button. Then I'll go ahead and double-click the arrowhead on the link line. And in the task dependency dialog, I'll go ahead and choose Finish to Finish. In the Type Pick list, click the OK button. And again, there's this unusual code, 10FF. That's ID number 10 is the predecessor with a finish to finish dependency relationship. All right, so let's back that out. Now I'll do it the second way. I'll type 10FF, and there. That sets the dependency as well. The final dependency type is called start to finish. It's the weird backwards dependency. In fact, I can tell you for over 20 years, my students all call this that weird backwards dependency. On a start to finish task dependency relationship, the start date of one task drives the finish date of the other task. Do you hear how that sounds backwards? So let me show you how to set the start to finish dependency using the first method. So again, I'll select them, click the link the selected tasks button. Then I'll go ahead and double click the arrowhead on the link line. And in the task dependency dialog, I'll click the type pick list. I'll choose start to finish, click the OK button. And again, look at the unusual code here, 13SF. That means ID number 13 is the predecessor, and the dependency relationship is start to finish. So let's back this out again, and I'll show you one final time how to set the dependency by typing. I'll simply type 13SF, press the Enter key, and there it sets the task dependency relationship. Now let's talk about lag time and lead time. Lag time is actually a delay in the start or finish date of a task for reasons known only to you. So in our case, we're going to order network equipment and then we'll set it up. But in between these two tasks, there'll be a delay of 10 working days while the network equipment is delivered. So what we need is finish to start plus 10 days of lag time. So here's how to do that. I'll go ahead and highlight the two. I'll link them. Then I'll go ahead and double click the arrowhead on the link line. And in the task dependency dialog, I'll leave the type option set to finish to start, but in the lag field, I'll put in 10 days. When I click the OK button, you can see this large gap that is created between the two task Gantt bars. That's the lag amount, 10 days. I can also see the unusual code 17FS plus 10D. Now that's quite a bit of typing, but as long as you know the code, you could do it, and I won't repeat that for you this time. The other option you can add to a dependency relationship is known as lead time. Lead time is actually negative lag. So here's our scenario. We're going to develop an Android app. When we're 2 days away from finishing that task, we'll then begin creating the app documentation. So what we actually need is minus 2 days of lag time or 2 days of lead time. Remember, lead time is negative lag. So here's how to show that. I'll highlight the two. I'll link them. Then I'll go ahead and double click the arrowhead on the link line. And in the task dependency dialog, I'll leave the dependency set to finish to start, but I'll put in a lag amount of minus 2 days. When I click the OK button, again notice the unusual code that is entered into the predecessors column. 20FS minus 2D. That means ID number 20 with a finish to start dependency and minus 2 days of lag time. So there's how to do the basic dependency planning in Microsoft Project. My sixth and final tip is to create a timeline view of your project. If you have a project client or project stakeholders, you probably want to show them a simplified version of your project that includes each of the deliverables and probably key milestones as well. That is the exact purpose of the built-in timeline view in Microsoft Project. So let's take a look now at a video that will teach you how to create a new timeline view in your Microsoft Project schedules. I have completed the task planning process, and now I'm ready to begin creating the timeline view. To do this, right mouse click anywhere in the white or gray part of the Gantt chart screen and select the Show Timeline item on the shortcut menu. When you see the timeline pane at the top of the screen, I recommend that you click and hold on the split bar on the bottom edge of the timeline pane, and then drag it down so that you make the timeline pane 2 to 3 times as big as it initially starts. To add tasks to the timeline view, all you need to do is to right mouse click on the task name and then choose the Add to Timeline item on the shortcut menu. There, I've added the Product 1 summary task. I'd like to add 2 more summary tasks because they represent the deliverables in this project. To select multiple tasks, click the first task to select it, then press and hold the Control key on your computer keyboard and select any other tasks you'd like to add. Release the Control key, then right mouse click on any one of the selected tasks and choose Add to Timeline. There, I added 2 at once. Let me add a few more detailed tasks. I'd like to add Build Product 1, Retest Product 1, Build Product 2, Retest Product 2, and then User Acceptance Testing. I'll release the Control key, right mouse click on one of the selected tasks, and again choose Add to Timeline. You can see that I've now added these new tasks to the timeline view. Finally, I'd also like to add some milestones, so I'll select Product 1 complete, press and hold the Control key, Product 2 complete, and then Project complete. Release the Control key, right-click on one of the selected tasks, and choose Add to Timeline. One of the things that you may notice in the timeline view is that tasks with a very short duration also give you a very short little timeline bar where you cannot read the complete name of the task. If you ever run into this, like on the 3 tasks I'm showing here, what you can actually do is click the first bar, click and hold on it, drag it up on the screen, and when you see an outline appear, release the mouse button. That'll create what we call a callout. So I'll do the second with this task, and I'll do it again with user acceptance testing. And we'll drag that down just a little bit so all 3 of them kind of look alike. There we go. And that creates the initial timeline view. After you create your initial timeline view, you'll probably want to format it to spiff up its appearance. Before you do that, however, be sure to click at least one time anywhere in the timeline pane to activate that pane and to display the Timeline Format ribbon tab up at the top of your Microsoft Project application window. If necessary, click the Timeline Format ribbon tab to display that ribbon. The first action I recommend you take in formatting the timeline view is to get rid of this green box that you may see in your timeline view. That's actually called the pan and zoom pane. The truth is it doesn't do anything to help you in the timeline view. So to get rid of it, in the Show Hide section of the ribbon, deselect the checkbox called Pan and Zoom. The second thing you might want to get rid of are these tick marks with dates that run across the top of the timeline bar. They're really not necessary because you can see the dates of everything in the actual timeline bars themselves. So to get rid of those date tick marks, click the Date Format Pick List button, go all the way down to the bottom of the menu to the Show Hide section, and deselect the item called Timescale. There, those are gone. The next thing you may want to do is change the colors of the timeline bars. So to do this, select the bars that you want to format. I'd like to do Product 1 and Build Product 1, so I selected them using the Control key. Then go to the Font section of the Timeline Format ribbon, click the Background Color Pick List button, and select the color that you want to use. I'd like green lighter 40%. That looks nice. Next, I'll select Product 2 and Build Product 2. Again, I'll go back to the Background Color Pick List button. And this time I'd like a different shade of blue. There we go, looking good. Finally, I'll select Final Integrated Product. Click again the Background Color Pick List button, and this time I'll choose Orange Lighter, 40%. If you have callouts that are above the timeline bar, like retest product 1, retest product 2, and user acceptance testing, you can't format the background color, but you can format the text. So what I'm going to do is for retest product 1, instead of clicking background color, I'll choose font color. And this time I'll choose a dark green shade. There we go. That matches it up with these. Then I'll choose Retest Product 2. Again, I'll click the Font Color Pick List button. I'll choose this darker shade of blue. And then finally, for user acceptance testing, I'll do the same thing again. I'll click the Font Color Pick List button, and again, I'll choose this darker orange color. One final action you might want to do is to change the color of the callouts that represent milestones for Product 1 complete, Product 2 complete, and Project complete. You can actually format them all simultaneously by clicking the Text Styles button at the far left end of the ribbon. And then in the Text Styles dialog, click the Item to Change Pick List button. Initially choose Milestone Name. And what I'm going to do is change the color to the standard color red. And then I'll go back to Item to Change, and I'll choose Milestone Date. And I'll do the same thing all over again. I'd like the milestone name and the milestone date to be red. When you click the OK button, that will format all of your milestones simultaneously with the same font style and the same font color. And with that, we've created a beautiful looking timeline view ready to show our project client and project stakeholders as needed. When you finish creating and formatting your timeline view, you may also need to export your timeline view to another application, such as to Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint, so that you can show your timeline view to your project client or to your project stakeholders. To do this, click the Copy Timeline Pick List button at the far right end of the Timeline Format ribbon. On the menu, you'll find three options that control the size of the copied image. For email, we'll give you an image about 60% of full size. For presentation, gives you an image about 80% of full-sized, and full-sized gives you what the name implies, the full-size image of your timeline view. I'm going to choose full-sized, but you'll probably want to experiment with these three options to see what works best for you. Then navigate to the application where you want to export your timeline view. In my case, I've created a PowerPoint presentation that is a bi-weekly status report about this project. Navigate to the slide where you want to paste the image. Then I recommend you click the Paste Pick List button and choose the item called Picture. This will give you an image which can be easily resized. So I'm going to double-click on the image, and then in the size section of the picture format ribbon, I'll reduce the size to 12 inches. Also, I'll click the Align Pick List button and choose Align Center. There, that looks pretty nice. I would say that my project client and my project stakeholders can now easily see the overall status of my project at a very high level. So there you have it. 6 tips that'll get you moving in the right direction with Microsoft Project. If you're new to this channel, I hope you'll subscribe and click the notifications button. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you have questions about Microsoft Project, I hope you'll leave them in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll see you in my next video.